Hey guys, so okay, welcome back to Zero Escape Virtue's Last Reward. Let's carry on where we left off. We're hunting for another bomb. A third bomb, but a bomb with the number 2 written on it. So, could you really call it the second bomb? I don't know. We managed to make a truce with Phi after we both alternatively betrayed and allied with one another. She ended up on top, but she says it's even, so whatever. We can't argue. Let's just keep going. As long as she doesn't escape, leaving us to hang, right? Without waiting for a reply, she turned and started toward one of the exits. I followed. Right, we don't know how many bombs there are. We just know that there's at least 3, if we're going by the assumption that all the bombs are numbered sequentially, 1, 2, and 3. But you never know. Zero's a trickster like that. To the archives. This is where we learned, or not we, sorry, Kay and his pair, that everyone has to participate in the AB game in the sense that everyone that formed a team has to have at least one person playing. No one can just sit out and assume everyone's going to ally with one another, right? Otherwise that'd just be easy mode. No one would go into the AB game, or AB room, sorry, to vote. Everyone will just ally automatically, and there you go. No dilemma at all, right? The archives. Good place to hide a bomb. I know, right? Could be in any one of these books, on any shelf. Now, where the hell do we start looking?
I doubt it really matters. If it's here, we'll find it eventually.
Yeah, they're not hidden extraordinarily well. They're somewhat hidden, right? But not like in an out of reach place or anything like that. And it's not like it's ticking or anything as well, so we're gonna need to look for it with our own eyes. So what about that Jupiter stuff?
We can talk while we look. Now get started.
Alright, we've got an hour. We're meant to meet back at the infirmary, but I don't know the status of the others. I turned to a corner of the room and began to look while Phi spoke.
I'll start with a conclusion I've come to.
Which is?
Our consciousnesses seem to be able to jump through time.
Is it really time? I suppose so, right? It's the future and the past.
No, sorry. Through time isn't really accurate.
Okay, go on. Phi, the science teacher? The science teacher.
It's more like we move through worlds.
Dad joke, sorry. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Not really to do with time going back and forth, but through like parallel universes or alternate dimensions, you know? Worlds.
Yes.
Because is this the feeling, the sensation these characters are getting is that things have already happened, not things that are going to happen.
I don't mean physical planets in this case.
Like Phi's not, like when Phi mentioned that we betrayed her, she didn't say, I saw you betray me in a vision, like, of the future. She said, you've betrayed me before, in the first round too, right? So that's more of a sense that we've hopped to another consciousness in another world, or dimension, universe, whichever word you want to use. I'll use dimension, because that sounds way cooler than universe.
Talking about a whole different universe, really.
Ugh,
Parallel worlds.
And she used universe and worlds, but not dimension. Phi, come on, man. What?
Do you know about the many worlds interpretation?
Kinda, yeah. Every time we make a choice, things split, right? And we create a new world where we didn't make that choice, or we made the choice, right? I think that's what it is. Well, kind of. I think I've heard of it once or twice.
Oh well, I'll just explain it.
Please, just clarify for me.
Let's say, I don't care what it is, but could you move?
Okay.
Scratch your head, cross your arms, put your hands on your hips. Anything?
What if I pick my nose? Is that okay? I had no idea what this was supposed to explain, but I did as she asked. Applaud. The play is over.
Interesting choice.
Thanks. You're the one who suggested it.
You clapped your hands, right?
I did.
But you could have chosen to cheer or blow a kiss, right?
Mm-hmm. Blow a kiss? I wouldn't do...
Details don't matter. Just talking about possibilities here.
Those are different worlds, where I made that decision.
Now maybe there are other Sigmas in other worlds who did all of those things. All of these worlds and realities are branching off from one another.
But see, the possibilities are endless, right? Because think of all the choices we've made in our lives up until this point right here in time, which right now is 11:38 p.m. on the 7th of March 2019. Like, every choice I've made in my life has led up to this moment. Think of how many worlds I would have created in my 26 and a half years of life, right? And that's just me. Now think of the, 6 billion people on this planet, all making different choices every second of every damn day. How many worlds is that? Okay? That's crazy and just incomprehensible to me. If this is like well, it is a theory, right? But like, if this was true, like, imagine. And being able to hop between all these different worlds.
The choices you could have made branched off from the moment you decided what you were going to do just now.
Okay, so I was right with the many worlds interpretation. Okay. It's just mind-blowing, you know? Sorry for geeking out there.
Every moment you make a decision, another universe branches off, on and on into infinity. Each of those branches is an alternate world. A world where a version of you did something different.
Like, what was it? Like, I think there was one popular, I wouldn't say it's popular, but one that I read ages back, where like, all of those near-death experiences you had, there was a world where you died and you're actually living, your consciousness transferred into a new world where you didn't die, you know, and you keep going. And that was just like, imagine if that's the case, you know, like, we never really die until, I guess, you're old. But even then, like, every time you die, you actually get transported to a different world where you didn't die, and that was your near-death experience. Like, I almost got hit by a bus once, I imagine, like, what if in the other world I got hit by that bus, and then I got transferred to this world here where I'm making Let's Plays for you guys rambling on about nonsense.
Haven't you ever thought about what life would have been like if you'd made different choices?
All the time, Fi. Who doesn't do that, you know? Like, who doesn't have regrets about their choices? Who doesn't wish they did this instead of that? But, like I said, hindsight's 2020. It probably made sense at the time, or in this case, it didn't make sense to Sigma when he betrayed Fi.
What if you'd gone to this high school instead of that one?
I'm just like, thinking of all these different routes that my life's taken, you know, like, if I had applied for a job, and if I'd gotten that job, I wouldn't have stayed at university for another year, and that's where I met my fiancée, soon-to-be wife, right? Imagine if I'd gotten that job. It was a internship at one of the big 4 accounting firms, right? My accounting career probably would be a lot farther than it is now, but, you know, I probably would never have met my current fiancée. Maybe I would have met someone else. Maybe I'd still be single. I don't know. It's just an interesting concept.
What if you hadn't started a study group? What if you hadn't told that girl you liked her?
That's a big one. For you people scared to tell your crushes what you feel, do it. You never know. Imagine. Because at least you'll have a certain branch, right? You'll know what happened. Whereas, in this case where you didn't tell her, you're left wondering what could have been. All these different branches locked for the rest of your life.
What if? What if? But are those what ifs really just what ifs?
What if they are reality? I just used the what if.
Or are there other worlds out there where you did those things? Anyway, that's the many worlds interpretation in a nutshell.
I'd love to just be able to transport between these different worlds and just see. You don't have to interfere or anything, just see what happened, you know?
I've simplified it a lot.
No, you did well. Easy to grasp. Layman's terms. But you're no man, are you, Fi? So, just lay terms.
Doesn't have to be human actions, though. I just used your actions to make the explanation easier to grasp. The actions of a cat, the flight of a bee, the movement of a microorganism, even fluctuations in air temperature. All these can change history.
The flutter of a single butterfly can cause a tornado on the other side of the world, right? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on a second here. I'll let microorganisms slide, but there's no way that air is conscious of anything.
Can you say for sure that you are?
Please, I'm trying to find a bomb here. You're blowing my mind. No, I'm trying to prevent this place from blowing up. What?
All of your actions are caused by the cells in your brain. If we go down a little further, then you could say all of your actions are the result of atoms or electrons, Or smaller particles we haven't even discovered yet.
Or microorganisms.
Are those atoms and electrons still you making a decision?
I just try not to think about this stuff too much. It makes my brain hurt. But I'll indulge. I'll indulge. Because this... I don't know. I like the way the game presents these sort of ideas and concepts.
At that level, how different are you from the air? I'd say not much.
But I'm intelligent, right? Air is not. Right? I don't know. I'm no scientist.
Human existence is just one part of reality. Falling in love is like a tulip blossoming. A tulip blossoming is like a tornado forming in South America. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, kind of.
The only thing that really matters is the action of the most elementary particles of matter. That's where history happens. That's where universes branch out.
So is that what they're testing here? Is that the whole concept of the AB game? Just to see different paths we take in terms of allying and betraying? I wonder. Are we recreating an old experiment?
Hey, you stopped.
I like to say it's Cradle Pharmaceuticals, the previous game. The one that developed Superil. I can't remember. I want to say it's Cradle Pharmaceuticals, but maybe I'm thinking something else. I don't know.
Are you done with that shelf?
No, I just was trying to comprehend things. Oh, no, not yet.
Well, keep looking while I talk.
Oh, it's hard, okay? I'm trying to think about what you're talking and comprehend it, like, while I'm searching.
How familiar are you with quantum physics?
0.
Never mind, don't answer that.
Okay, well, too late. I already did.
I'll try and keep it simple for you.
Thank you.
Let's see. Hey,
Fi's really knowledgeable about all this stuff. I wonder why.
hand me that box, will you?
This one? Sure. I handed the box I'd been examining over to her. She set it down on the desk and opened the top.
Also... Ah, there's a stuffed lion over there.
What am I doing with this?
Perfect. He's part of Felidae, too.
Felidae? What's that? With that, she grabbed the lion and tossed it unceremoniously into the box. She also took a weight and an ink jar and put them in next to the lion.
All right. Everything's ready.
Okay. God, I'm telling you, I dropped science as soon as I could. Ready?
Remember that book in the crew quarters about Schrodinger's cat?
Yes.
It relates to all this stuff I've been talking about. Anyway, come look at the box.
What about looking for the...
This'll only take a minute.
A minute? You know, we only have 60 of them.
Now look.
She's really, really persistent. I shrugged and peered into the box.
What do you see?
The lion, the ink, and the weight. Well, there's a stuffed lion.
From now on, that's a cat.
Okay.
A living cat. This is important. Got it?
That ink is going to be the radiation or the poison? Yeah, it's a cat. Meow.
Oh, man. This again?
Sorry. I can't help it.
I find that hard to believe.
It's just suspicious that he makes these puns when we know that Zero Jr. makes puns as well.
Ugh. Fine. Maybe I can just ignore it.
Please. For what it's worth. I'm sorry.
All right. What else do you see?
Oh wait, that's not even pond. And a jar of ink. What is this supposed to be? That's not even a pond.
Right.
Okay.
Now the weight is going to be radioactive material.
Okay, the weight is radioactive.
And the jar of ink is full of poisonous gas.
Right. What? I'm getting out of here.
Idiot. It's not really full of gas. This is just hypothetical.
I was just really into my imagination, Fi. Sorry.
Imagine that it's full of gas.
I did. That's what I would have reacted.
So, what's the weight?
Speaking of reaction. Radioactive material.
And the jar of ink?
Poisonous gas. It's full of poison gas.
Exactly. Good work. Now, there's one other thing you need to know about the jar. If it's struck by any of the alpha particles the radioactive material emits, it'll break.
Okay.
These particles are emitted randomly, but there's a 50% chance that one of them will come into contact with the jar over the course of an hour.
Alright, I'm with you so far.
So let's close the lid.
Oh no.
And pretend an hour has passed.
Annotations.
Here's the question. Is the cat inside of the box alive or dead?
As of this moment, all I know is it's both, right? Until we open the box and reality collapses upon itself or something, it's both alive and dead or something like that, right? It's simultaneously two realities or something in there, I think.
You can't open the box to check. And you can't hit the box.
Can I shake it? Oh,
Obviously you can't shake it either.
I'm sorry. Okay. Can I talk to the cat?
It's also been soundproofed, so the cat could be howling up a storm in there and you'd never know.
I love that she's answering all my questions as if like we're having an actual conversation. I can't think of anything else I could do. X-ray machine?
Basically, you have no idea what's going on inside the box. Do you remember what happens if the alpha particles hit the jar?
The poisonous gas gets released and the cat dies. It breaks. Gas fills the box. The cat inhales it and death will whisk her away.
And what if the jar doesn't break?
It doesn't break. Then the cat's still alive. The cat lives to tell the tale.
Haha. And what are the chances of either of those things happening?
50% each. About 50%.
Uh-huh. So, what's your answer?
My answer? Sorry, I had to check if I was recording or not. I wasn't even sure. Like I said, it's both alive and dead.
Is the cat alive or dead?
I can't possibly know.
Then guess. It's not hard. Alive or dead?
I hate guessing, but let's just say alive. The cat is... Pause for dramatic effect. Alive.
Nope. You're wrong.
Oh. It's dead?
That's wrong too.
Then what's the right answer?
The answer is that it's in a state where it is neither dead nor alive.
Oh. I thought it was both dead and alive, but nope, it's neither dead or alive. What? How does that make any sense?
It's an extrapolation of something we see at the atomic level. We don't know if an atom is spinning upward or downward until we measure it.
Okay.
Before it's measured, those two possibilities coexist.
I see.
But as soon as the measurement is taken, obviously, only one possibility is the truth. That's what's happening with the alpha particles. Since we can't know when they were emitted or where, we only know the probability that they'll impact the jar.
Uh-huh.
Because we can't observe anything that's happening in the box, that becomes the entire system. In other words, the box is like the atom. We don't know how the cat's life or death situation has resolved itself until we look at it.
I see.
Until we do, it's just a bunch of possibilities.
Honestly though, it's still hard for me to grasp. But that's just me. I'm sorry.
Do you get it?
Like, kind of? But that's just one example of just Schrodinger's cat, right? I don't understand quantum physics beyond that.
If the cat in the box is possibilities...
Then it's both alive and dead.
Right.
Okay, never mind. I was right, originally.
So, let's open the lid. And when we do, all the possibilities will collapse into a single truth.
Yeah. It's just hard to visualize that, you know? Just like... and everything just combines into one single possibility.
Meow.
Meow. To you too.
What a relief, huh? Looks like the cat's alive.
Is it though? It's got buttons for eyes, Fi. Can it really be alive? Look, it's been surgically... It's got its limbs surgically attached.
Anyway, that's Schrodinger's cat.
Okay. Shall we look for the life-threatening bomb now?
The many worlds interpretation is one theory for explaining that weirdness.
Right. So there's another world out there where this cat died?
Yeah, that's the idea.
You said that's one theory for what's going on. Do you have any others? But this seems to be the case. Considering flows and whatnot, right?
Looks like that cat tick of yours cleared up.
Yeah. Well, your story was pretty insane.
Insane?
Yes, in the membrane. You don't think so? Just the idea of something being alive and dead at the same time? And if the moment the lid is opened determines whether or not the cat's dead, then it's almost like events in the future can determine the past. I mean, the cat doesn't die when you open the lid, so it must have already been dead.
Exactly.
Huh?
You've experienced it, haven't you?
What on earth are you talking about?
Think back. Remember round 2 of the AB game?
Mm-hmm.
When you chose Betray, what was my vote?
Ally.
But what happened this time?
I chose Ally, and you chose Betray.
Right. And both times, I put in my vote a full minute before the deadline.
Right.
When did you push the button?
The last second. Right before the deadline.
I see. Well, that makes this a little easier to explain.
Okay.
If you chose Betray, then my vote was Ally.
And if I chose Ally, you would always choose Betray?
If you chose Ally, then my vote was Betray. But I made my choices a whole minute before you made yours.
Right, so you'd already decided before I'd made my choice. I couldn't control what you chose. To be honest, you probably controlled my choice.
Don't you think that's strange? You do see what I'm saying, don't you?
Maybe? That my choice in the future altered your action in the past.
Yeah.
Of course, right, sorry. When we made the decision, her choice, changed way back a full minute before we made our decision.
From your perspective, there's no other way to interpret it. Look at this die. I found it over there.
Uh-huh. Looks like it's part of the puzzle of that box, right?
Let me give you one last example.
Okay. As she spoke, she tossed the die into the box and quickly shut the lid. What's
All
the
right.
number?
Answer this question. What number is the die on?
Let's say it's 3. I have a feeling it's 3?
Okay. I'm going to open the lid.
Oh,
Good job.
how lucky am I?
You got it right.
Awesome. That was just a fluke.
Was it?
Huh?
Let's think about what was going on before I opened the lid. What number was the die on?
3, of course.
Haven't you been paying attention? The die is still a collection of atoms, isn't it?
It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I don't think you can reasonably suggest that it was made of some different kind of matter.
Wait, so you're saying that before you opened the lid, the die was on all the numbers?
Uh-huh. That's one way to look at it, at least.
And then when you opened the lid, it was just one number.
Or it might have become that number when you declared which one it was.
Oh, just the thought of that. Huh? Wait, what do you mean?
Your choice in the future has an effect on the past.
So my decision to guess 3 may have changed the outcome of that die in the box. That's crazy. It's so hard for me to wrap my head around it. But maybe that's just a human thing, right? Well, what was that?
Anyway,
the simulation's
that's all I wanted to
destabilizing.
say.
Thank you. Are we going to look for the bomb now?
We got a little off topic there, but I think I made my point.
Yes, you did.
Reality separates off into an infinite number of branches for each and every possibility. You and I seem to be able to jump from branch to branch.
But why just us two? Surely someone else can do that here.
Of course, our bodies aren't doing the jumping. Our consciousnesses just sort of dive into other versions of ourselves in other worlds.
I mean, that's probably how you knew my name at the beginning, right? Whoa. I think I get it now. That's how you knew my name, right? You jumped in from another world. That's how you knew all those other things you shouldn't have known. Like the points going to 0 and whatnot.
Yeah. That's the best I can figure out, at least. Unfortunately, it seems like we don't retain all our memories when we jump. Maybe we only remember particularly important things. I'm not sure how it works.
Like traumatic things, like you getting betrayed, apparently cut you real deep, or the bomb exploding, of course. Maybe only intense feelings carry over.
But whatever the reason, it seems to be fairly limited.
Luckily for me, I retain everything. But Sigma probably doesn't.
And often, we don't seem to remember jumping at all. Things will just sort of pop up.
And we just know what to say, right? Like when you intervene to stop Phi from escaping using the Latin words. That's why when someone asks us how we know X, all we can think of to say is, I just knew.
Yeah.
What's causing this then? I don't remember ever doing this before, so why would it start now?
If we knew that, I don't think we'd be having so much trouble.
Did it only start when we got put into this game?
It's just...
Just what?
well, I'm pretty sure it has to do with why we're locked up in here.
So you think that's why they locked us up in here? To experiment and observe?
There's no way this doesn't have something to do with whatever Zero Senior's trying to do. Why would he have left that Schrodinger's cat book in the crew quarters?
And why would he be participating in the game along with the rest of us? You aren't kidding, are you? Maybe this is some sort of huge Schrodinger's cat experiment. And all 9 of us are locked up inside the box right meow. 9 lives, right?
What if you've got it backwards?
Backwards?
We're outside of the box, and the rest of the world is inside.
Right. For all we know, the world outside has been ravaged by Radical 6. Or it could be all fine out there. Then the moment we step out of this place...
Yeah. We might be determining the history of the world outside.
Whether or not it's an apocalypse out there, or life's functioning as normal. No way. I had 1,000 other questions, but before I could open my mouth to ask them... Who's there?
Oh, good!
What's up?
There you are!
Did something happen?
Yes! We found it!
The bomb? Found what?
What do you mean, what? What else could we find?
The exit that's not the number 9 door? The star cards?
The bomb!
Oh,
The other antimatter bomb. The number 2 bomb is in the control room.
we were there. Where was it? Is it in the generator? Is this it? Yeah, see? Not really well hidden, but hidden enough
Yeah.
that we could have maybe glossed over it. Maybe. Highly unlikely, though.
This is one of them, all right.
And it's number 2, apparently. At least, we found them all now. For all you know, it's number 20.
No. There could be more. Like Kay said, there might be a number 4 bomb out there. We have no way to know.
It's not like it says 2 out of 10. Did you tell anyone else about this, Clover?
Well, not really, but,
Why you sound so nervous?
I wasn't the first person to find it.
Who found it? Kay?
Who was?
Kay and Luna?
Right. Kay is just so suspicious. But I don't know anything about it.
After they found it, they came to the infirmary and told the rest of us.
Who was in the infirmary?
Everyone.
Except for me and Phi. How wonderful. Thanks for leaving us out.
Tenmyoji and Dio were there. So were Alice and Quark, of course. Although they were still asleep.
So everyone who wasn't asleep knows about the bomb.
I wonder, if Quark and Alice have been under watch this entire time, then obviously they couldn't have planted the bomb. Unless there's some freaky-deaky shit happening again.
I see.
Yeah.
There's nobody else here, though. Or maybe we remember that, and see if Alice and Quark suddenly know where the bomb is without any of us telling them. Where'd they all go?
Right after we came here to look at the bomb, they all left.
Oh, they're just like, no, had enough of this, I'm out of here. See you later.
They were going to go look for you two.
Oh. How are you gonna get back in contact with them again? What about Alice and Quark?
They're the same.
Is anyone watching them?
Still sleeping. We checked them out just to be sure, but they seemed fine.
We don't even know if Radical 6 is contagious, do we? I think it was on that article that we saw, whether it was contagious or not. That's good. It must be, right, if it's infecting a lot of people out in the world. Fine, I looked at one another and let out a small sigh of relief.
Oh, right. I checked everybody's bracelets when we were in the infirmary.
And what were their colors?
Did you want to know what they were?
Yes, please. It took her only a moment to explain. Alice was a green solo, and Quark was a blue solo. Dio's bracelet made him a yellow pair, and Tenmyuji was a cyan pair. So, what are our options for groups?
The next set of doors to open are going to be the white doors.
Which means we have to make white.
That means we'll have to mix our colors so that we get white.
Fi laid out what that would mean. Option A. Fi and Tenmyuji, cyan, would pair with me, red. Kei and Dio, yellow, would pair with Quark, blue. Clover and Luna, magenta, would pair with Alice, green.
Huh? There's only one option?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that's made my decision easy then, doesn't it?
Any other combinations don't make white.
What about Alice and Quark? Luna said it's going to be a while until they wake up.
We'll just have to carry them. The secondary doors won't open without 3 bracelets.
Yep.
And if we can't open them...
And you can't take their bracelets off because they're technically not dead. I say technically not dead. Yeah, they're not dead. Yeah, we'll get penalized.
Exactly.
Don't worry about Alice. I'm on her team.
Are you saying you can carry her?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, I can get Luna to help me.
Yeah, figured.
True. I'm sure she'd be happy to help.
What about Quark?
He's on Kay's team.
He's easier to carry, right? Because he's just a kid.
There shouldn't be any issues there.
Kay can already lift Clover. How did this bomb get there? Well, we still need to figure out what we're going to do about this bomb. Alice said we should be safe as long as it's not triggered with the remote.
Maybe, but we can't just leave them here forever.
Well, we need to get out of here, so we can leave them here forever and we can gap it.
I mean, if they go off, then everything in like a couple 100 kilometers is gonna get fried.
Well, where are we supposed to put it, you know? Wait, a couple 100 kilometers? What are you talking about? That bomb should only have about as much explosive power as a ton of TNT. Right? Isn't that what we explained that was better than an atomic bomb? Which is nothing to sniff at, but that's nowhere near the kind of yield you're talking about.
It could be.
What? How? When they're all detonate at the same time?
What if these bombs are just like the detonator?
What? What are you talking about, Clover? Oh! You mean there might be a bunch more anti-hydrogen around here somewhere? Yep. Right over there. The generator. Combined with the generator.
The reactor.
Or reactor, sorry.
Yeah. There are supposed to only be 18 antimatter reactors in the whole world.
Well, we're staring down the barrel of one of them. 18, huh? Multiple of 9. Fantastic.
If that's one of them, then there's a lot of anti-hydrogen.
Which means there's going to be a lot of anti-limbs once this thing goes off.